Parental discretion is advised.
Hey guys, this week on the Wrestling Mayhem Show, in the fan mail, we talk about vehicle mayhem, lucky regions of indie wrestling in the Indie Minutes, a look back at brutality in wrestling, and Total Divas, best thing for the divas, all this and more, and a new face on the show. Mayhem. This edition of Wrestling Mayhem Show is brought to you by
Fleshlight. Head on over to WrestlingMayhemShow.com, look for that banner, and click on it. You'll know which one.
Want to have your business or podcast featured on the show? Contact us at info@sorgatronmedia.com. Subject line, advertising.
Just wait. Wait for the perfect time, then attack. Don't give up what you want, take it back. Wait for the perfect time, then attack.
Hey guys, are you ready for wrestling? Are you ready for mayhem? Are you ready to get into it right here? Wrestling Mayhem Show,
Sure.
384.
Give them a chance to answer.
382. Wait, I'm sorry. DJ Lunchbox here, giving me the etiquette.
It's to give the people a chance to answer. You can't just ask questions, Sorg.
But the
Let's ask the
chat
questions.
room's on delay. Hey, but we're the Mayhem Show, right? Am I right with that part? Am I good with that
You're right,
part?
you're right.
Yes.
You're
It's
right.
the Mayhem
It is
Show.
madness, utter madness.
And we are broadcasting here from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. You're somewhere in the vicinity as well.
Yes. I'm actually I'm in my my Lady Lunchbox's lair, which is perched high atop the glass castle where she can observe her whole domain.
It's a sex dungeon, isn't it?
And speaking of glass castles, Eamon is coming to us from not Corpus Christi, Texas anymore. I have to fix that. He's in San Antonio, Texas, ready to get his...
I'm back near my beautiful white wall where I belong.
Hold on. Up.
This show makes me lose my mind, but I love it.
Get back to the white walls. Back to the less troubling. Do you have new roommates?
I do have new roommates.
Do they-
Hopefully, I will have them still after tonight.
This is the night where they find out what the real deal is, isn't it? And now you're from San Antonio.
Mm-hmm. There we go.
Excellent. And also coming to us from somewhere in New York, not in the city this time.
It's in
Mad
Poughkeepsie, bitches.
Poughkeepsie. It's Mad Mike. How you doing, sir?
Did somebody say madness? Yeah.
Awesome. How do you spell Poughkeepsie?
I love how you say that, Sorg. It makes me happy.
Poughkeepsie.
Thank you very much. Poughkeepsie.
It is
Poughkeepsie.
Poughkeepsie. Up here.
Poughkeepsie. It's Poughkeepsie.
Poop.
No,
Poughkeepsie.
it's definitely not Poughkeepsie unless you're watching.
Coming to
Sex
you
and the
live
City,
from
the movie.
Poughkeepsie.
And of course, like I said, it's a Wrestling Mayhem Show. You guys can find us here. We're at WrestlingMayhemShow.com. You can drop us a line at that email address, which we have some wonderful
Good
t-shirts for. Good times at WrestlingMayhemShow.com. 412-206-WMS0. So you can drop a line to us there. WrestlingMayhemShow.com, like I mentioned, with links to everything we're at: iTunes, Stitcher, YouTube, even on Blip TV if you'd like. And of course, and we'll get into some other ways later in the show of how you can get to us as well, right on your phone device. But first, let's, hey, please leave comments, like, stars, whatever. Share it with your friends. Spread the mayhem. The more mayhem, the merrier here is one of the many mottos on our show. And hello, everybody watching us live.sorgatronmedia.com is where the chat room is. And all of you guys on Justin TV on the feed. So with that, guys, hey, let's get into the show the only way we know how. We do not know any other way to do this. Absolutely not. Let's get into the fan mail. Who's got the first one here?
I think this has been deemed my fan mail to read for this evening. Okay, from our good friend Dustin. Dear Wrestling Mayhemians, first, let me start off by saying that I wasn't lumping Eamon, or anyone smart enough to listen to this show, in with the likes of the mentally inept dullards frequently found commenting on YouTube videos. I wouldn't imply that you were in this mental category of derp when I made the comment, but I'm glad that the talking point of the IWC was discussed last week. Secondly, this was an excellent wrestling week. The continuity issues and overall randomness of the AJ Styles turn this week melted away as I proudly watched my 3-year-old son have his first mark-out moment. The second that Get Ready to Fly hit, he had his favorite wrestler back and ran in circles giving the P1 hand gesture.
That's awesome.
This was such a cool experience as a proud father and wrestling fan.
That's really cool.
That is really cool.
That's
Finally,
pretty great.
Josh Matthews is to Ryback what Michael Cole was to Heidenreich. I hope Josh Matthews will borrow Titus O'Neil's rape whistle so he doesn't become the 1 out of 8 statistics of males who were forced against desire and will into sexual deviance with a predator such as the Heiden Ryback.
Oh boy, I hope it's not going that way.
Oh my
Yeah.
God, I want to see the Hyde and Ryback as a tag team.
What, your bullies in high school never raped you?
Wrestling jobbers.
No, I did not. I stopped partaking in the sports teams before that could happen.
Good for you. To what matters? What? And here's his questions. Number 1, did you know that Ted DiBiase was still employed by the WWE? Sadly, I did not.
He has a Legends contract or something, right? He's not a backstage guy anymore,
Nope,
right?
Junior.
No.
No,
talking about Junior.
Oh, Junior.
Sword Junior.
Yeah. Okay.
No. Not the important one.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, so.
Yeah. That's
Neither
what-
of them are employed by WWE anymore.
Like he
Neither of
pops out in like random Be a Star ads here and there, and that's about it, right?
Was he even on those?
It's
Yeah.
something like that. There's some kind of media stuff where they send the guys that aren't really doing anything.
No, he did the DiBiase posse parties.
Yeah, but not even that. I saw him something else that's on like the TV I actually watch, not Superstars.
That was back when Maurice was still with the company.
There you go,
Ah,
Reese.
I miss Maurice.
Ain't it?
Number
Yeah, me
2.
too.
Since you all agree that Dixie should be the reset button for TNA, Viacom has, allegedly, expressed interest in buying a majority stake in TNA. What positives and negatives could you see if this was to ever happen? Positives. The show would automatically get better.
No, it wouldn't.
No,
No, it wouldn't.
Okay, better than it is now? Fuck yeah.
I would go with, I want to think back to WCW, because the problem with, and I'm hearing more and more of this, the problem with WCW was that the more the company owned, which was everything in that case, the more it kind of worked against it. You know, I don't know, maybe Spike TV is a different case because they actually like wrestling and it's the thing that gets them the ratings. But still, that's a part of Viacom. Much like WCW, which was on TNT and TBS, which was a part of Turner in general. I mean, I think there's a lot of opportunity for if they had more hands right on that. If somebody important in Viacom doesn't like wrestling anymore, goodbye TNA. TNA gets buried on TV, regardless of how well they're doing. I think that opens you up for a lot bigger problem in the long run.
Yeah, I mean, you have to have someone that's interested in professional wrestling, you know.
Yeah,
for the long term.
exactly. Because, I mean, it is maybe less so these days because of the ratings they get, but it is really a redheaded stepchild of the television entertainment industry, right? So,
Yeah.
The way I see it, there's one major positive and one major negative I could see immediately. If Viacom purchased it, they'd have money to actually hire people and give them real contracts,
yeah,
which would be a good start. It'd be a good jumping off
a
point.
good pull. Yeah.
They'd be able to get a lot of people back that they've had to let go.
Yeah.
But possible downside for that is, I'd imagine that, when we've said this before, Viacom is probably the reason that you're getting crossover with Bellator.
Mm-hmm.
If they owned majority stake in TNA, that could potentially increase to an annoying point.
That's true. And they own Bellator, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, the Viacom. Or Spike.
Yes, I believe so.
Okay.
Yeah, I think Spike is under the umbrella of Viacom.
Of course.
Yeah, so I'm pretty sure that Bellator is a part of that fold.
Yeah.
And even if it's not, it's on the channel, so they're going to want to cross-promote. I mean, Christ, we saw the summer camp bitches on Raw, so...
Yeah. They've been lighting that up, I think, over the years, too. It used to be really bad back in, like, the 90s, you know.
Yeah, with Sable on Pacific Blue. Yeah.
Sable on Pacific Blue, Silk Stockings, man. Fem Nikita.
Bella's on Psych.
What? Bella's on Psych. There you go.
Big
Bellas
Show
are going to be on Psych.
Cena on
for the season
Psych,
finale.
Liz on Psych.
Yep.
Stop looking disgusted and read the email.
I didn't know it was on me. I'm sorry. I was listening. Number 3. After the hoodlum act of tagging Randy Orton's vehicle, I asked you, out of all the vehicles that have been used as focal points in the wrestling business, which was the most memorable act of vandalism / attempted murder? that went a turn. Personally, Vince exploding limo and the hilariously god-awful monster truck on a roof match from Halloween Havoc 95 for all the wrong reasons. Regards, Mayhem Nation, Dustin. P.S. I think Paul Heyman is doing a better job at Psycho X than AJ Lee did, but props to AJ for an excellent promo this week.
There you go. And yes, he is. Not that AJ
Not
did
wrong.
a bad job, but certainly. So to that question, does anybody have a vehicle? I guess it's kind of a mini remember when.
I didn't really hear it.
still
What was the question?
Eamon?
It's what was the most memorable act of vandalism / attempted murder involving a vehicle in wrestling?
I still gotta go with filling the Corvette with concrete.
It kind of goes, yeah.
When I was working at WWE, that was actually in the back of the parking lot that we had to park in for our job. I got to see it every day, and it was so awesome.
From the chat, Leg Kick says, got to go with Taker's limo rides.
Nice. Yeah.
The DX airplane.
DX airplane? Oh, when they tagged it?
Oh, that
Yeah.
was pretty good.
How about the time that Stone Cold tried killing Triple H by dropping him in a car from not a forklift, but some kind of heavy machinery?
No, it was a
Some kind of
forklift.
thing.
It was a forklift. He tipped over the car. You're right.
Yeah. It was no. He actually picked. Well, it was one of those more heavy machinery. I can forklift it, drop it kind of things, but it was actually a big cat vehicle or something.
No, I'm pretty sure it was a forklift thing.
Yeah.
He trapped
The
Triple H in
entire
a
game
car.
of WWE Crush Hour.
Oh, Brock Lesnar
We have a
has
winner, ladies and gentlemen.
Brock Lesnar has the twisty rockets.
Thank you, JR.
My personal favorite was when Shane McMahon had attempted murder on Kane by sneaking him into a limousine, putting a brick on the gas pedal, and then pulling a belt that was tied to the clutch.
Yeah. LB, it's time for you to read the emails.
It is, and just as I mentioned last week, we are going to be doing something new with big PPC emails. The Russian is gone, and it's going to be a new accent each and every single week. This week, see if I can't dust off my British accent that I haven't done since the early days of Vimmel. Are we ready?
Go for it.
Hey. Hey, hey, hey. Hey, hey, hey. Hey, hey. It's me. It's the fan of the year at Big PPC. What it is, Mayhem Crew. So, D-Bry versus Orton at Night of Champions, eh? Oh, I should have done Canadian. Questions this week. Is this the start of a new corporation gimmick? If you could add a few people to stable, who would it be? And can D-Bry be the Austin-type catalyst gimmick to cooperation and Triple H? Yes. Till next time, it's been me at Big PPC. Take care, Mayhem Crew. Sent from my iPhone.
That was great, but I remember Vimmel didn't sound anything like that. Questions.
Vimmel did not sound anything like that, and when he was on the show and I did my accent for him, he said I sounded like a chimney sweep.
Yes. That's what I kind of go towards too. So
I take it as a compliment.
Questions. That's right. So,
Well, your uncle British.
Is this the start of a new corporation gimmick? Yes.
Yes, it appears to be.
Yes.
Yeah, pretty much.
We
don't have to answer.
We have to answer in. Yeah, right. Pretty much. Right.
I assume we did.
I'll assume we did. I'm going to slide
watching
This is
different.
going to be great when I use my
I-
Swahili accent.
I just slide different parts of the island. If you could add a few people to the stable, who would it be? Who makes sense on the corporation? I mean, we already. Go ahead.
I really want them to add Miz. I think Miz would be an interesting one because that's someone that you can spin it as it's someone that WWE really wants to make a face, but no one really is catching on to.
Yeah.
They're just.
He needs to go back over.
I feel like he would be the perfect fit as the guy that they would try to model as someone that the fans should eat up, but they're not.
I could really see Miz as a swerve to a bad guy at a Survivor Series situation if they keep going with this.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
Right? I mean, I think so.
I'd like to see Wade Barrett added to that.
There you
I think
go.
it would
I
freshen
agree.
up his
That makes
character
sense.
a little bit.
I think he almost is really.
Yeah, he was called out for that
But
at the
he
beginning.
needs to be like the Ken Shamrock of the corporation.
We're still doing this.
Yeah.
If can D-Bry be the Austin type callous gimmick to the corporation and Triple H? Yeah, I think so because
If
he's.
they make him a little tougher, yeah.
You make him a little tougher, yeah. Stop getting beat up so
Oh,
much.
he's-
Well, that's
you
the
know.
problem. Is Austin didn't get one over on him too often, or they'd have to like pull out all the stops to do it, which they kind of do with D-Bry. It's not like D-Bry's getting punked out by one dude. D-Bry is getting outmanned and outgunned in this case, right? But he still
Yeah,
gets.
he needs some allies.
But he does, and I think they're creeping towards it with all the people that Triple H was getting in the face of on Monday night.
The only ally that D-Bry really has is out injured.
Yeah,
That's the thing.
exactly. So I don't know. We'll see. I mean, I could see John Cena coming back and doing some stuff in the meantime, like non-physical stuff. But he comes back as like, we could do blah blah blah, or hey, John Cena just came back and became the guest GM, for a night and makes their lives a living hell. I think something cool could happen out of all that.
I've heard some people mention this, and I mean personally, I wouldn't mind it. I just don't think I'm not. I'd be scared to see him on my TV.
Yeah.
Like introducing Shawn Michaels as like sort of signing with D. Bryan, I think would be kind of cool.
That makes sense as like the guy that trained him and everything. Yeah.
Yeah, and sort of I guess play the whole Triple H Shawn Michaels thing.
Yeah.
I mean, Shawn Michaels doesn't look the best right now if you watch like the SummerSlam pre-shows and that.
Hey, clean up in between your stints there, buddy.
Yeah,
I gotta say, James Mike Garcia on the Facebook has been talking a lot about Big Show joining and trying to defend Daniel Bryan. And I could actually see that working. Like he's back, he's a face, he needs direction, he's got that contract that was it Triple H specifically that gave it to him, or was fighting against it or something?
But no, that was
it was when he came back and sided with Laurinaitis.
Yeah, Laurinaitis.
Yeah, Laurinaitis. That's who gave it to him. Yeah.
So yeah,
well, I mean, they also have Big Show and Mark Henry eventually going after the Shield.
Mm-hmm.
So that's already kind of in there, but not really.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, let's see what Battleground is. I still think Battleground is going to be some kind of team-on-team event, which kind of is messed up since there's Survivor Series.
But we tried this already once with bragging rights.
We did, and we had a Survivor Series type match at SummerSlam a couple years ago with the Nexus. Who knows? We'll see where it goes. We'll see how it pans out in the next couple months, right? So, next email. Ooh, this is mine. No, wait.
There was one before that.
Oh, we tagged that with the person that's not here. Mike, why don't you read this?
Oh, okay. To the WMS Nation, why did AJ Lee cut a promo that made sense about Total Divas? Well, she told the world about this Sunday's show prior to Raw, and told why the Divas division saved her all because of her. She had tears in her eyes, and it turned out to be the best Divas promo ever. I hope she will be a Diva for years to come. See you all later. Pierre K, a.k.a. Mr. Techwood Drive. Oh.
Yeah, that was really AJ's pipe bomb promo.
I believe really CM Punk hashtag pipe bombshell.
Yes.
That works.
And that's great. Because, I mean, really, for most of us, wasn't it really like what we all think of Total Divas?
Oh, absolutely.
God, yes.
That's the biggest problem with Total Divas. The biggest issue with Total Divas, minus the whole, like, oh, they're reality stars, oh, they're not really wrestlers or whatever, is the fact that they have all this focus on Total Divas while they have Divas champion right here doing nothing.
Yeah, exactly.
But guys, I hate to tell you this. I was thinking about this, and I was watching the promo again earlier today. You know what this is going to lead to, right? Natty winning the Divas title. Natty winning the Divas title on the season finale of Total Divas.
Of course.
And they are going to have a match that's AJ versus one of the cast members at Night of Champions.
It's got to be Natty. She's the only face
on the whole show.
Well, no, I mean,
no, you got the Funkadactyls, but really, let's not give them a.
If they put it on Cameron, I'm going to go to Stanford and start bombing things.
Whoa. We're going to get that one out later. Okay, moving on.
Metaphorically.
I just finished watching Raw. ... I thought Big Show had an ironclad contract that couldn't be fired. Was there a heels only stipulation with it? Also, it was just like we talked about. I think that should be stepped up.
Penis.
I'm glad AJ Styles got rid of the Venom symbiote and is back in his original gear. Have a great show, guys. Sonic Screwjob sent from my iPod. Yeah. I have nothing on the AJ Styles thing.
Ironically, a Sonic Screwjob would be the best thing to get rid of a Venom symbiote.
No. Exactly. This is supposed to be...
That's a comic reference, kids.
This email is listed as a group effort. How are we going about... Oh,
I'm calling the poem.
You're calling the poem?
No.
You're not calling the poem. We're splitting up the poem.
I see 3 parts to the poem.
All right.
Somebody reads the first section,
I'll read the
and
first.
then the rest read the poem.
Eamon,
Alright.
you're not good at reading poems.
I know, which is why I'm reading the part that's
He's
not the
reading the email. We're reading the poem.
Okay.
It's going to go Sorg, and then you, and then me.
Okay.
poem. Okay. Greetings and salutations, the Wrestling Mayhem Show. I've got to say, I'm not exactly a fan of Rob Van Dam, but I'm not giving him the cold shoulder anymore. I give him a pretty frosty reception when he came back at Money in the Bank, but I've started to cool off on my absolute distaste for him. There's no chance I'll actually cheer for him. It would take hell freezing over for that to happen. But if he can avoid from kicking out Del Rio's teeth, I can chill on wanting to see him thrown into a volcano.
What the hell?
We'll get to that at the end of the email.
Okay.
I'm really glad that NXT is now free on Hulu. It's an nice time to be a wrestling fan these days. Though I prefer people like Zayn and Paige just get a call up to the main roster, as long as WWE isn't glacially slow on that, I'll be fine.
I'd like to take this moment to nominate this as Email of the Year, please.
Yeah, it's up there.
I'm chill with that.
I'm reminded that my first 2 poem challenges are still open, but here's a collection, all in the same style, still with the prize of a pizza on the line, should that style be properly guessed. So here is the poem.
There once was a wrestler named Ryback, whose gear was airbrushed on tip back.
Oh, I'm the one that sucks at
Fuck
poems.
you.
Okay.
He had a bald head and demands to be fed, so beware his egg salad attack.
I love that your reading poem voice is just British.
You haven't seen the video where I did this for an entire Dr. Seuss book.
Oh, I've seen it.
Tinky Winky!
Tinky Winky, fucker! Man, Mike, your turn.
Okay. There's a wrestling show called Mayhem.
Hey.
Their hosts have opinions, they state them.
Yep.
For all to be heard, they yell every word. And B. Stroud's thoughts, Eamon apes them.
True.
Oh.
That is fantastic.
Sick poem burn.
Whatever.
There's a wrestler known as D. Bry. His skills in the ring are quite high, with an elbow and kick and small package trick, not to mention the fact that he can fly.
Oh, the gift
And
didn't
that
work. I'm sorry.
That's
There's a
okay.
gift.
That's okay. And that was the poem for this week. Take care. I'm sure this show, like the others before it, will be a real winter. Your friend, Leg Kick TKO. So in case you didn't catch on with his email.
Wait.
Oh, good.
I would like to officially make a guess at the poem, because I
Okay.
fail each and every week, and I'm going to do it again. But I'm going to say that this week's was a limerick-style poem.
Okay, we'll have to wait for the answer from the chat room from one Leg Kick TKO. So yeah,
Oh, man.
there we go.
Fantastic. Good shit.
Eamon, you were going to clarify something about that email?
Oh yeah, so in case you didn't, and we have an answer that it is a limerick.
Yay! Someone gets pizza.
Hey.
Pizza.
Yeah, we get to
appreciate my prize of a pizza. I am on a diet, so I only ask that you donate the money to charity or your favorite Kickstarter.
Wow. Or donate the pizza.
Or buy a T-shirt.
How about a pizza trophy?
Or buy a T-shirt. Take the pizza money, buy a T-shirt.
Yes.
Which is probably the least noble of the ideas.
Probably, yes. Probably. All right, guys. Thanks a lot. All the emails, fantastic.
Well,
Send them all to goodtimes@wrestlingmayhemshow.com. Mike, you had something to say?
clarify, the trend that was in Lake's email.
Mm-hmm.
It was made apparent to me that on my laptop here, with the setup, I look somewhat similar to Mr. Freeze from Batman and Robin.
A little bit. You got some weird backlight going on there. We need to talk about that.
It's just because of where I'm at.
Arkham?
And
In a tower?
It looks that way because
allow
of the
me to
light.
break the ice. You know.
Ah.
Basically, we spent the whole TNA hangout making ice puns and talking about freezy wrestlers like Stone Cold Steve Austin, Glacier, and Ice Train, and and Iceman King Parsons. We made all the references we possibly could, and Kick and I both decided that we would try and make as many ice puns on the show as possible, and she already trumped me, so I'm not going to do it.
See this? This can be yours, guys. If you're on the audio, you can't see this. It's WWE's greatest stars of the 90s. There's Undertaker. There's Stone Cold. There's The Rock. There's Baby Bret Hart. That can be yours, guys. If you go to sorgatronmedia.com, click on Sorgatron Media in your inbox over on the right, or if you're here at live.sorgatronmedia.com, there's actually a button right at the top of Sorgatron Media in your inbox. Sign up for that newsletter. We're taking one more week, and then we're going to select the winner that this is going to go to. It's still sealed, too. We just want to get more people on that newsletter so you guys don't miss an episode or anything that's coming up here. Of course, we do a lot of shows here around the area and all around, live streams like we do here every Tuesday night with the Mayhem Show, Awesome Cast, Let's Play. We got plenty of ideas coming at us all the time. We have stuff in the works coming in the future, and even like time changes and everything. But we also do local shows. We're doing a lot of shows like International Wrestling Cartel, Renegade Wrestling Alliance here locally. So if you are in the Pittsburgh area, you can find out all that kind of stuff. Or if we're going somewhere else to do something, which we hope to in the future. Also, DVD releases for all those productions and documentaries and all that kind of stuff. You get the best of the week from my blog at sorgatron.com. Our friends at insertcointobegin.com, who shout outs to them. Bobby F. J-Town, who's usually on their show, he actually did a really cool review video for an arcade something wrestling over there. So go check that out. In Bobby's playthrough of the week over at insertcointobegin.com. But go to sorgatronmedia.com, click on that, join the mailing list. You can win a DVD and much, much more in good soulful things in your inbox every week. So I just want to kind of put out for that. LB, you got something to talk about too that we're also fairly excited about.
I absolutely do, folks. I want to talk to you about something. All right, let's start this again. Folks, I want to talk to you about something
that's
a little bit personal.
Yeah.
It's a little bit personal, but it's something that we, I would say 99% of the population does. A little thing known as masturbation. That's right, folks. You're going to do it anyway. Why not? In the immortal words of Tom Haverford, treat yourself. That's right, folks. Head on over to the WrestlingMayhemShow.com. Click on the best looking banner we have. You'll know it when you see it. And go to the Fleshlight website. There is nothing but wonderful things awaiting you there at the Fleshlight website. There are, of course, the world famous Fleshlights, which you can have modeled after your favorite porn star. There is DVDs. There's things for couples. There's things for singles. If you want it, it's there. Head on over to WrestlingMayhemShow.com. Click on the best-looking banner we have. And remember, DJ Lunchbox says, treat yourself.
Oh, Hello. Yes, and with that, let's go to the Indie Minute with the Wrestling Fan. Or,
As
I'm
Sorg-
sorry, the artist formerly known as the Wrestling Fan. And I'm going to go back to my reading.
As I was going to say, Sorg is busy. It's time, folks, for this week in independent wrestling. And Sorg, you better put that book down because IWC, as you mentioned, was this past weekend, double shot weekend for IWC. Sorg, let me know, how did that that fun weekend go? Yes.
Yes, yeah, we were there for that. It's a big.
Sorg, stop playing Second Life.
It was a big double shot weekend. Yeah, Second Life in my Winnie the Pooh book. No, a big double shot weekend. Again, Cage Fury, 2 cage matches there Saturday night, and of course over in Newell, West Virginia for Mountain State Madness 5. Also a cage match ending that show. Cage match so ferocious, so big, literally, that it could not fit in the doors of the venue, and we had to have the show outside. But other than that, it was all right. It was all right. But no, there was a lot of great matches. I started thinking, like, how do I kind of put over the best moments from the weekend? Oddly, I don't think the best moments were in a cage. For me, at least for what I look for in these shows. 2 of my fave 5 definitely go to the Rowe versus Bobby Fish match and then rematch from the weekend. Really good stuff. Eamon, I think you got a chance to see that as well here.
And for Ring of Honor in San Antonio, yeah.
You saw it, yeah, in San Antonio. Followed by a lot of props to Facade versus friend of the show, Andrew Palace, actually. Is definitely up there as well. And beyond that, it's good to see Zema Ion in the ring. Not in the ring, but he was actually involved in a couple of instances with the Chair Shot Reality segments with Justin LaBar, friend of the Mayhem Show that we've been working with over the summer here. And also great to see Mark Madden was actually part of Cage Fury on Saturday night. He had a kind of a QA that people could attend before the show. We snuck over and got to listen to a little of it. And one thing that I really enjoyed working with him over the summer was hearing some of his old WCW stories. And that was the kind of stuff that he was really sharing that night. And he actually did participate with our friend of the show, Joe Dabrowski, and some of you guys might know him from recent Ring of Honor announcing fame. He was on some of the road rage shows that have been aired in recent months. But it was really cool to see him kind of go to into somebody that was in position Madden was when in wrestling, and I think Madden still got it really. Guys had me cracking up all weekend between those two, between Joe and Farnsworth as well. Dalton Castle was on the mic for a bit, Plummer as well. It was a really good shows all around. A lot of the new talent stepping up. I gotta call out, you guys know Chess Flexor, who's been on the show multiple times, Andrew Palace, Brian McDowell, who since we talked to him there at WrestleCon, he's come up with this awesome bowling situation that he comes to the ring in, as well as Corey Futuristic. They are now known as the STDs, Sexy Talented Dudes. And they have a T-shirt and everything.
That's a very appropriate name. I don't see what you're talking about.
No, obviously not. But no, really great show all weekend. Castle McChesney, Hot and Colin Delaney, all great stuff from those guys. So go check it out. We'll have the DVDs out here. It should be available at any second through IWCWrestling.com. We'll have the digital download ready for you for the instant access later this week, I think, at this point. It's going to be a little weird with the holiday, and since it was a double shot. So stay tuned for that. It was wholeheartedly, they were both tremendously fun shows, and I sometimes enjoy those spot shows even more than the big ones like Cage Fury was, and this was no exception. And everything was great in its own right for different reasons. So awesome. IWCWrestling.com for all of that. Back to you, Eamon.
Yeah, definitely go check them out and go support our friends at the International Wrestling Cartel. Also, there are a couple big events that are happening this weekend. The first that I want to mention is for our friends over in the California area who are fans of Pro Wrestling Guerrilla. They are having their big 2-night tournament that they hold every year, the Battle of Los Angeles, affectionately known as BOLA. They have a lot of names that they're bringing in this year. A lot of new faces mixed with some of the PWG sort of regulars. And it looks like a very stacked lineup. So if you're in the Reseda, California area, August 30th and August 31st, go check out Pro Wrestling Guerrilla. They're putting on some of the best stuff on the independents right now. It seems like a very fun. They always seem like they have very fun shows, very interesting environments, and that's going to be a show to definitely check out if you're in anywhere around the California area this weekend. So go to ProWrestlingGuerrilla.com for more information about everything PWG.
Am I seeing RJ City as a part of that?
I don't believe so. No, I know Anthony Leese, another IWC competitor, is a part of that in Anthony Neese. But no, a lot of great competitors. I know ACH is in there. Ring of Honor star Tommaso Ciampa is making his PWG debut.
Mm-hmm. I'm sorry, I didn't get the chance. I forgot about this one. RJ City, I finally got to see debut, and he's been a really good one. I've enjoyed his promos on YouTube leading up to the events, and he's definitely kind of all what he's cracked up to be. Of course, this guy is on the Splat-A-Lot on Nickelodeon show.
Yeah, I have never watched it, but that's what I've heard.
He in both instances sang himself to the ring. To give you an idea where he's coming from. Is also involved a lot in those Chair Shot reality segments over the weekend too. So,
aligning himself with one just LaBar, as it seems.
Yes.
So yeah, interesting stuff. And the only other thing I want to mention this weekend is if you're not in the California area this weekend, if you are in the Texas area though, there's an event going down this Sunday in Austin, Texas. You may have heard me talk about. I've only mentioned it a couple times. Inspire Pro Wrestling, the company that I'm working for. I'll be up in the commentary booth again Sunday night, September 1st, at the Marchesa Theater in Austin, Texas. We have a very stacked card. I'm very excited to see what it has to offer. We have the main event of Mike Dell, Jojo Bravo, and Bolt Brady. The winner of that match will face Davey Vega and another person to crown our first ever Inspire Pro champion. We also have Scott Summers and Rowe, who Sorg mentioned earlier, in that match to earn a spot in next month's three-way match, which should be absolutely killer. Friend of the show, Ricky Starks, will be taking on Sean Vex. A lot of the great Texas talent is going to be showcased at this event, and I'm very excited to see what sort of comes from our second show. I'm excited to get behind the commentary booth again and have a little fun. And like I said, if you're in the Texas area, if you're at any part of the Texas area, because luckily I know some people it's hard to get the drive in, especially on a Sunday. But hey, it's Labor Day weekend.
There's a comment from the chat room who's please stop saying Texas area because Texas is fucking huge.
Hey, it's Labor Day. It's Labor Day weekend. Okay,
no
you don't
excuses.
gotta go to work
No
tomorrow
excuses.
or the next day. Like, fucking come down to Austin, and we're now selling alcoholic beverages at our show.
Drive the 14 hours to Austin.
I want you to
It's
remember
not
this
14
conversation.
hours.
I want you to remember
From
this
where?
conversation
From
with
where are
WWE
you talking about,
Texas.
WrestleFan? Because I'm talking about from anywhere.
No, not if you're in San Antonio, if you're in Houston, if you're in any surrounding area, and you don't think you can make it out, but fucking come out.
More or less. Hey, I did talk to Rowe about Inspire. I was like, hey, I heard you've been down there, and I'm always fascinated when a wrestler knows you by name.
Yeah,
this throws me every damn time that they know between ACH and Rowe. But no, he said
I
he's
still
looking.
thought it was really weird that Eamon and I share a Facebook friend who's a indie wrestler down
that was a weird
Texas.
circumstance.
It was very odd.
So yeah, he did say he's looking forward to see what Inspire has in store, because I was like, yeah, it sounds like they got really something different going on there. Also, I'm amazed at how many wrestlers. I got rumblings of a couple, some people going down and joining you there, Eamon. I'll tell you off air here, but is Texas really becoming that much of a hotbed, or has been that much of a hotbed for you guys?
I sure hope so. I definitely think in the past year, 2 years or so, people are sort of seeing Texas as like a place that you have to check out.
Yeah.
I think a lot of wrestlers who work in Texas may consider it sort of like a dry point because I mean definitely the driving aspect.
I think the same thing happens here in Pennsylvania. Well, I think for Western Pennsylvania that happens. And I don't know
because I know a couple local Texas workers recently relocated to St. Louis just because it's easier and they can get sort of more varied areas. Yeah. And I know a lot of groups like an ACH or a Davey Vega and that will drive like 12 hours to come to a show in Texas.
Mm-hmm. Well, I was hearing.
It's all Eamon. He's the Texas-Pittsburgh connection.
He is. I heard people were really happy when ACH started doing stuff up in this area or the Northeast at least because his style, the word I heard over the weekend, and I apologize, I honestly can't remember which one. I talked to so many people this weekend. Was that his style fits more with this Northeast kind of style of wrestling? You know, I mean, you could call it.
And I think a lot of people consider Texas to be sort of like very old school, and more the like Von Erich style, which is not true. You look in this city and you see
just look at Anarchy.
A lot of people, you see a lot of people that have different styles that really could go to an East Coast and fit in perfectly.
Yeah. I mean, you definitely have like your NWA kind of things, which I presume they seem to be from what I've seen, or even that River City Wrestling that you used to talk about. They did seem very old school, even though they did have some of the intergender kind of thing going on. But that seems to be just a trend in general in indie wrestling. It is very interesting to see that kind of style thing. Like the conversation I heard was somebody going down to Texas, running down there for a little bit before going to Japan and doing a run. I thought that was really interesting that that's the path. But I think for this individual, it's going to be really good. Because I think they've definitely played out their resources amongst groups here in the Pittsburgh and Cleveland area, and I think we ever really. And again, I'm not a wrestler, or anything, and know really what it is for those guys to go to anything. But I know as a fan, it seems like we have a good bit of great stuff here between not only what we talk about every week with IWC and RWA, but there's PWX that's running all the time, and like them or hate them and what they're doing. I definitely don't like their TV, but they got stuff going on. There's something like KSWA and Vicious Outcast Wrestling. There's a lot of options just in the Pittsburgh area. What other area do you know? And maybe you have something down there in that area to this effect. But there are 5 choices in the greater southwestern PA area, the greater Pittsburgh area of wrestling shows for you to go to. I can't believe how much choice I have right now.
Yeah, you think you have a lot of choice in Pittsburgh. Texas is like I would assume
1,000 times bigger than Pittsburgh.
That's true. I'm just talking about Southwest PA. I'm talking about
size-wise, though.
I'm not even. I'm talking like the worst I have to go is an hour for any of these shows. Right. Seriously.
In San Antonio alone, there's at least you can probably go to 4 shows a month in San Antonio alone.
Yeah,
and then you take into account Austin and Houston and everything like that, and Dallas. Like, there's so much option. Like, it's spectacular at times. I do think it kind of diminishes things at times, but it's great to see so many people and like see so many different, like I said, different styles of people.
That's great.
Like, take a friend of the show, Ricky Starks, for example.
Yeah.
He's one of those guys that you could take from Texas and put in the East Coast, and he would fit in perfectly.
Yeah,
his style is just that way.
Definitely. Yeah, and this is, and I know you felt like we've had dry spells in the past, but definitely, I love how, and be happy if you're in an area like this. It seems like around the Detroit Flint area, there seems to be a ton of stuff happening up that way. Obviously, there's stuff all through Ohio for us. There's stuff down in West Virginia, whether you like it or not. I always hear kind of wonky stuff about West Virginia wrestling promotions, but versus. I heard Scott Hall on the Stone Cold Steve Austin podcast talking about he's like, Cody was coming up, his son, and he's like, he's working indies, but I want to get him out of Florida because there's really nothing worth working down there where they were in Central Florida. So they end up in Atlanta, and Atlanta's got to be a hotbed of wrestling considering everything that's come through there. There's got to be something going on. I know we don't hear anything up here, but nothing beats the whole Eastern PA, New York City area. That's kind of a New Jersey That's pretty insane how much wrestling they have going on out there, though. So, excellent.
Yeah, well, basically the moral of the story is if you live somewhere, there's indie wrestling somewhere.
No,
around.
not true. No, it's completely not true. There are plenty of areas.
Unless you live in like fucking Wyoming or whatever. Okay?
I know. Well, yeah, Middle America can't have much for pro wrestling, or at least anything that's anything to speak of. No.
But I think if people would be surprised if there is a local promotion that's somewhere. It may not be something.
Yeah, and for the longest time, because I know I was never exposed to anything. There's all this stuff growing up. There's always stuff down here in Pittsburgh, but there was never anything. And now there's like, wow, there's something in Erie. Wow, there's stuff playing from where I used to live here in northwestern PA, right across the border in Ohio, practically. I mean, geez, if I was your age and I had this kind of access to wrestling, oh my God, I wouldn't have gone through school.
Yeah. Well, think of it. I mean, I live in Corpus for most of my life, where there is no indie wrestling whatsoever.
Exactly.
And then I moved to San Antonio, and it opened the gate to independent wrestling,
which is kind of interesting. Is really doesn't wrestling flourish in small depressed towns? It is, isn't it?
Corpus.
Seriously,
sorry, Corpus, it's true.
Because I mean, I think about the spot shows and where some of the people run around here, and it's not in Pittsburgh, and it's in these small towns that honestly don't have anything going on. And I'm not trying to run down the towns or anything, but that's where these things can be hot.
Why do you think Tommy Dreamer started House of Hardcore in Poughkeepsie?
There you go. Poughkeepsie.
Why do you think ECW started in Philadelphia?
There you go. Exactly. I mean, and South Philly. Take a walk through South Philly. Okay. I'm gonna say on that. So thank you, Eamon. Indie Minute. Fantastic conversations.
Well, thank you. That, my friends, is the Indie Minute for this week.
Indeed. And we're going to go first. We're going to check out some clips in a moment. If you got one of these guys with the touchy screen, chances are you can get Mayhem delivered right to you. We got the WMS Gold Wrestling Mayhem Show Gold app. You can get it for, not that one. He's got one. He's got one right there on his iPad mini. I got it on my iPhone. I went and put it on my Nexus 7 that just came in last week. We got it everywhere. If you have access to the iOS App Store, that's any device. If you got access to the Amazon App Store, which you can put on just about any Android device, $1.99, helps support the show. You get direct access to all the audio episodes. You get special, extra Wrestling Mayhem Show Gold video. Stuff we don't put on the show. Stuff you're only going to see if you can meet us here Tuesday live at 9 o'clock Eastern time. But you don't have to do that. You can just do that, get all the footage, get all that extra stuff, have a direct button access to email us, to call us on the hotline, all that stuff right here in the app. And now we're going to take a look at a couple of clips from that and check out some other DVD action from Sorgatron Media.
Sorg, don't go up the steps.
I'm up the steps!
Don't go up the
There's
steps.
an arrow! There's more steps!
Do not go up the steps!
I'm walking all over the place!
So,
the one where they had to cut him out of the barbed wire because it almost killed him?
Oh, that was pretty good.
Yes, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody won. They had to cut them out. And two, Raw was just awful last night.
Say the thing I was told not to.
joining us for this segment of the Master Mayhem
You understand? You don't understand the randomness that happens in here to make this happen.
This is me like the first time that the sun rose. I feel the reap, but I must have been the one chose. Before the day break, I see the orange glow. With open arms, I am ready for one more show. And as the day breaks, I try to save face. This is beautiful, never know where to place me. I've been lost for years, but it makes sense now. Moment of clarity, rarely feel I let down. Rose in the concrete like my whole life. Finally let go.
Hey guys, welcome back. I'm sure to check that out. Check out the app. Check out the DVDs over at sorgatronmedia.com/store. All those have teasers linked to them for all the ones that we've done here in the last 2 years, so go check that out. Mad Mike is doing the dinosaur to fuck with me on off camera here, so that's great. But in the meantime, we're going to get to that segment you all know and love. Remember when. This week in Remember When, of course, last night we had a pretty brutal segment on Raw where it was mentioned earlier that Paul Heyman may do a better Psycho X than AJ does. And that kind of culminated last night with him taking kendo stick pretty brutally to CM Punk. His back was bleeding. I feel like we're fairly squarely out of the PG era with WWE Raw at this point. So I thought, what was the kind of surprising moments of brutality that come to your mind, kind of based on thinking of that from last night. Now, LB before he left, he did say his would be Sabu versus Terry Funk in the barbed wire. Rope ring match.
No ropes.
No rope barbed wire match. Thank you for clarifying. The one, in fact, where like they had to actually cut them out of the barbed wire and stop the match because it got so bad. And I remember, I do remember Terry Funk saying like, "Yeah, I had like a piece of barbed wire that was like this close to like cutting an artery." And that's how close it was to going that much worse. So let's go around the round table. First, we got Jessica from Alabama.
Hello.
Joining us. First time on the show, but you've joined us several times in the wrap-ups after Raw and Impact and everything. How you doing?
I'm doing all right.
Excellent. So do you have a brutal moment from the past that comes to mind here?
There's a couple that have been running through my head. R-Truth going after John Morrison with a water bottle was shocking. I think, though, the attempted live embalming of The Undertaker on Stone Cold.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that was good.
That was
wow.
That could have been. That could have been. I mean,
really
obviously
good.
it's not going to, but I thought it was going to get gruesome for a second because I was a youngster at the time.
Mm-hmm.
So
That
my
was
choice.
really good. I forgot about that.
What about you, Eamon?
The one I thought of was I think it was Judgment Day 2004. I want to say, and it was in the WWE title match between JBL and Eddie Guerrero, where JBL hits Eddie Guerrero with a chair, hardways him, and Eddie Guerrero just starts bleeding buckets.
Yeah.
Like just crazy buckets. I think didn't he like pass out from the amount of blood he lost?
Pretty much. Yeah, they definitely had to attend to him after that one.
Yeah, it was crazy.
And it wasn't anything more than I think he just bladed too deep, right? I think.
I think it was hard. It was either he bladed too deep or it was hardware.
But I remember it. I feel like he tried to cut himself when he hit the chair.
I think he said in his book that he cut too deep.
Yeah.
Did he?
I'm pretty sure. I'm not positive. I
think I remember that too. Because I remember
the visual of how the chair shot did look pretty brutal.
Yeah.
To be honest, but I think whether it was that or not, like that whole image of it all, and just the brutality that came with it, I thought was pretty crazy. So Mike.
Well, mine was, I forget what pay-per-view it was. I want to say it was Over the Limit in 2010. I'm probably wrong on that. But it was the I Quit match between The Miz and John Cena. Where I don't know why this one came to my head, because it wasn't especially bloody.
Mm-hmm.
But Cena was tied up with his handcuffed to the ring, thanks to Alex Riley, and Miz just beat the fuck out of him with a kendo stick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that. I think it's because you said surprisingly brutal, and no one expected something like that.
Yeah.
Like, that was just because it was really probably the last time any of us liked The Miz when he was here and he was WWE champion.
Mm-hmm.
But it was, oh man, I remember just watching that. I'm like, wow, he's really beating the fuck out of him.
Yeah.
Awesome. For me, it's I go back to, I would say surprising, because I go back to WrestleMania, where it was Edge versus McFoley.
Yeah.
And it was the hardcore match. And I particularly, the one that kind of got me was the fire table spot, where Edge actually speared Foley off of the apron and through the table. And after that, you were just like, wow, Edge's face pretty much went into the flaming table. And afterwards, he was doing the shake thing, and I'm sure it was mostly played up, but it was just like, wow, that was kind of close, right?
And apparently, you'll be able to recreate that in WWE 2K14.
Wonderful!
That was in the trailer. That was in the trailer.
Was it? Oh, man.
Yes.
So there you
Outstanding.
go.
We did post it out on our social medias.
We did.
A couple people have commented from our Facebook group. Tonio Garza says that BS piece of shit New Jack legit stabbing a guy at some indie show. Well, actually, it was an ECW show, but I mean, really,
any indie show.
Yeah, any
indie show New Jack is on.
Any show.
Any
Stab
show
someone.
New Jack is on. Even
Yeah.
when he
That's a
was
good
on
point.
Daily Show, I'm pretty sure someone bled on that.
Pretty sure.
Yeah.
Jim Shireman, our good friend Shireman, says, as a teenager, I remember Vader rolling back the floor padding and powerbombing McFoley. That was the first time I remember audibly saying "whoa" to a spot. And another good friend, Kelly Kyle at Texas Anarchy, says a lot of early Mankind stuff comes to mind. Going head first through the table versus Taker, throwing off the cell, going through a table with Shawn.
You gotta think, Foley is the guy that on purpose would fall on his back on the concrete with an elbow drop on the outside.
And I think
He
nowadays,
would
those
Yeah.
those moments of brutality nowadays, I think, are the crazy sort of spots that we're seeing.
Yeah.
Like when for last night's Raw when Randy went and wrestled Christian and he shoved him off the ropes onto the apron and his neck compressed against it, that was that's what we're seeing now. It's not the blood, it's not the headshots or anything like that. It's these guys are killing each other, actually wrestling.
Yeah. From the chat room, and I don't know this reference, but Garza says Raging Bull versus Invader 3 was pretty brutal, staged but looked brutal considering the story behind it. Is that Mexican? I'm guessing.
I think that was really brick.
Yeah. So let us know if you have any brutal moments you want to share. Go check out that thread over on the Facebook group for Wrestling Mayhem Show, or let us know on Twitter at Mayhem Show, or over on the Google Plus as well. We asked the question, so just look up Wrestling Mayhem Show there, and tag the show WMS 384 or in hashtag remember when, and we'll share it on the show in the future, or retweet and whatnot, and just let us know. All right, with that, hey, I got a new shirt this week. I'm sorry, I'm not wearing it. I wore it over the weekend actually, but there was a really cool shirt that a friend of the show, Alex Cars, did. Good times. Good times at WrestlingMayhemShow.com. Unfortunately, I can't bring it up at the moment because I had a little bit of a computer failure here. Oh wait, you know what, Mike? I'm gonna put it over your face for a moment here. If you go to ProWrestlingTees.com, there's some tremendous stuff there. Including stuff for. Wrestlers we've been talking about, guys. I think it's Kevin Steen, Colt Cabana, Shelly Martinez, the Ask Dixie shirts that we've been talking about last couple of weeks. But while you're there, they also have plenty of great shirts for podcasts and promotions like us. So if you go there, ProWrestlingTees.com/WMS, you'll find our shirts, including the great Good Times at Wrestling Mayhem Show, which is done in the style of Fast Times at Ridgemont High. So I recommend go check that out. Support the show. Shirts are $19.99, an extra $2.50 if you go double X and up like I did. So please go check that out. It's a great way to support the show. It's a really cool thing. And like I said, you can get more than just the Mayhem Show. Don't just support us. This is a great way to support indie wrestling in a really, really cool way. Really good shirts, really great quality shirts. By the way, I've received one of each of them we have in our WMS store. There's even DDP Yoga. I should get that for when I'm doing my DDP Yoga. Johnny Gargano, friend of the show, the whole shebang shirt. Trent. And there's even some yes shirts for Daniel Bryan. I'm questionable on those ones. But again, while you're there, while you're picking up the really cool stuff, get the moderately cool but still pretty decent stuff from us. Oops. From the Wrestling Mayhem Show.
I still say get ours first.
Well, you want to get ours first.
We're the ones,
because you're
ones
listening to the show. So you might as
Get ours first.
You might as
Needs a
well.
sandwich.
You might as well. So go wear them with pride, help out the show, support the show, and let them know about it when they ask what the hell that t-shirt's for. ProWrestlingTees.com. So, all right, guys, let's get into the discussion for tonight. First of all, we talked about it a little bit. Well, you know what? Let's go to our panel specialist here on women's wrestling, an actual woman. What? Right?
Wow, so
Because only women know about women's wrestling.
Only.
good job, Sorg. Way to segment our.
Well, no, I had a thought because I heard that the and correct me if I'm wrong. I heard the ratings for Total Divas did not drop the night of SummerSlam, right? And we're talking a 10 o'clock hour when like the main event is happening for SummerSlam.
I heard there was a slight drop.
There was a slight drop, but not like anything highly significant, right?
No, it was still like 1 point something million.
Yeah,
So,
so
like,
pretty
better than
decent.
Impact.
So I started thinking about what is happening here. Is it that wrestling fans are not watching Total Divas and went and saw the pay-per-view, or is somebody else entirely watching this show and we're the weirdos because we are actually catching up on it alongside our Monday Night Raw?
I think it's a combination. Like I think it's a combination. The reason I guess it's getting necessarily as high ratings is because it's marketing to the people that love reality TV and watch like Keeping Up with the Kardashians and all that stuff, and it's also marketing to wrestling fans.
So it is. Yeah. We think there's a giant a big flux of people watching the show that are just Kardashian fans, fans, for reality show fans.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, people like drama and boyfriend stuff and shopping and all that kind of ridiculous stuff that they cover because they don't really talk about wrestling. You see like 10 seconds at an episode, really,
yeah.
of them like the NXT gym.
I will say that, when I turn on my DVR of Total Divas to do the review, I catch like the last 5 minutes of the Kardashians. Total Divas has way more attractive people on it than the Kardashians show does.
And that's why it's got the ratings, right?
That will draw people in. I mean,
yeah.
If you have attractive people are going to be like, well, let's see what these attractive folks are up to. And it's a reality show, so it's going to draw ratings.
Yeah. I also think it's because it's a reality show based around something super specific and something that not a lot of people have done, an area that not a lot of people have done before.
Yeah.
Because when you see like, the reality shows that are like, we're 5 like model types and we live in a city. Like that doesn't like sell really. So
this is and because this is something that is like lifting the curtain, even though we like we said, it is only a little bit and on a very, I would say, rudimentary level. It is showing the backstage. It is showing these people interacting and not being dastardly to each other as they are in the ring, right? It shows them conversing and, maybe playing pranks, and then they're whatever characters they are in the ring. I think that is still new to a lot of people, right?
Well, also, weren't the Total Divas people on the Soup this past week?
Were they?
I thought they were on the Soup on Wednesday.
Okay.
Yeah. So, they may have gotten a bump from them being on that.
Okay. So is this... the two sides of this. First, I still want to analyze. So, is this going to bring a more broader audience, interesting network broader audience to the rest of wrestling? Like, is this going to be a gateway, you think, for a lot of people for them to watch more wrestling?
I don't think it will.
No?
I think the people that are in there just for the reality.
Select few people will.
Okay.
Not anything.
You'll get a small subset of it, just based on. Like, the more exposure that the Total Divas people get on Raw,
yeah.
If the storyline progresses and Natty gets the Divas title,
yeah,
then people will be like, oh, this girl I like on the reality show is the champion now. She's going to be on the show. I may as well watch it.
Exactly.
I agree with you, but I think at the same time, and Total Divas is an hour long, with commercials and all that. I don't think that same person who is really went into it because it's reality TV will be like, I'm going to want to watch a 3-hour wrestling show.
And that's the thing. And I really think we need to get away from the idea. I do not think the mass populace is watching 3 hours of wrestling on Monday night.
No, absolutely
we
not.
are barely watching 3 hours of wrestling on Monday night, and we are dedicated to it, damn it. It's just impossible at that point. I think they really do play. I know we're away from the click to the other channel to watch the competition, but I think you pick up a lot of click the other channel surfing people, and they're trying to capture those people for periods of time rather than
you're
for
competing
3 hours
with everything,
straight.
even besides professional
Exactly.
wrestling.
I mean, we got to think like it's not just wrestling fans that watch Monday Night Raw and WWE in general. It's TV watching people. You know what I mean? I mean, they're not watching because they love wrestling. They're watching it because it's something on TV that's more entertaining to the thing than a thing on the other channel. So, I mean, I think that's one thing we don't really... I don't think anybody really thinks about that in this whole internet wrestling community. You know, no matter how mindful we try to be of not being, you know, stepping back and looking at it. There are people that are stepped back even further than us, but those are the people that watch an hour of Raw every week, but they'll pay the ticket and buy the Cena t-shirts when they come to town. You know what I mean? I mean, that really, I really think that is. I mean, I you know, kids are watching Saturday Morning Slam, which should be coming back here shortly, and may not watch anything else, but that's one more fan that's going to bug, you know, kid that's going to bug their parents to go check it out when it comes to town. You know,
fair,
really.
they may not be allowed to watch anything else.
That's true too. That's true too. Well, a secondary question to that is: are we happy that we finally have significant storyline amongst women's in the Divas division? Did I say women's?
Yes.
All right. But no, seriously, when is the last time we had a secondary feud, something going on, let alone we've dedicated an entire hour of television every week to it? Which usually leads to at least 2 Diva segments on Monday night. Whether we like it or not, the women are getting more attention than I think they have gotten in 15 years?
I would say 15.
I'd still like to see it result in more than like a 2-minute match.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
You know?
Yeah, I mean, I can't...
As much as they're devoting time, to, like you said, doing an hour dedicated to Divas, and to the point that they're, you know, you could see 2 Diva segments on a Raw.
Yeah.
Like, that doesn't mean they are really focused on making the women important.
Well, no, well, it's still more significant. I mean, they're a cash cow for them now, and I think they're benefiting from those women more than just photo shoots here and there than I think they ever have.
Right.
Something does bother me about it, though, and I've been noticing it more and more with watching Total Divas.
Mm-hmm.
I almost get a little frustrated whenever I see matches on Raw that feature the Total Divas people.
Mm-hmm.
Because now it just has me thinking, what kind of bullshit, stupid backstage storyline have they used to have it build up to this match on Raw?
So something in the backstage that's happening that you're not going to see for 3 months when it comes on the show.
Exactly. Like, it seems like, I hate to say it, because it seems like they could be doing the backstage stuff that they're doing on Total Divas and bring it to the forefront on the show so it actually makes a bit of sense. It's like watching those TNA One Night Only pay-per-views. Like, you watch it now, fucking Rob Van Dam might be on one of them.
Yeah.
Or Kurt Angle,
exactly.
and he's in rehab.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or like Eva Lise is going to be in Aces and Eights for the Knockouts one.
So you
and
don't...
yet the only female in the Aces and Eights is Brooke.
So you don't like the time slide that's happening here, or you think that it's taken away from your enjoyment watching Raw?
It's bothersome
right?
to me.
Okay.
Yeah.
But you're a detail guy. You're a
I see what
detail
Mike-
guy, Mike. What's up,
No,
baby?
I see what
I
Mike's
do
saying, that
on the show every
they did that the first week when they had the Bellas like interfering in Natalia's match, calling her like an ugly duckling or whatever, because that was the topic of the first episode.
Yeah.
When that episode was filmed before WrestleMania.
Yeah, that was a little weird, and it feels like they may have gotten away from that a little bit. Like, they kind of comment on things, but it's not as motivating as it was when they first started doing that.
But I mean,
still.
But you have Eva Marie on just this past week's Total Divas talking about, oh, we wear bronzer at the gym because you never know when John Cena might turn up. Like, she's actively trying to say that she wants to look good for John Cena.
Yeah.
Who is Nikki's somewhat serious boyfriend.
Yeah.
And the Bellas and Eva Marie have not been
Tudor,
friendly with each other on the show. But they're like BFFs on Raw.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
It's very odd.
But they still explicitly are separating the characters on Raw, even in the show, the characters on Raw versus that. You enter this other world. You enter Wonderland when you turn on Raw on Monday night. You enter kayfabe land, and this is not kayfabe land. It's maybe reality kayfabe land, but at least it's a different reality. It's like it's the same people, but you're reading regular Marvel Universe and Ultimate Marvel Universe. You know, I mean, it really, right?
But see, you're not, because what happens in Total Divas has already happened on Raw.
Yes, but
it's like you're reading an ongoing origin story.
No. I think when you really need to think about it, and again, I'm not saying Total Divas is real as far as reality shows go, but still, it's like. I still don't think you're wrapping your head around this the right way. Them on Raw is the actor. It's like if you had a reality show, let's say The Big Bang Theory. You had a reality show about the people on the Big Bang Theory. You have them as their characters on the Big Bang Theory. You have them as the people they really are in the reality show. I think Raw is the show, and I know this crosses in our heads all the time of the people versus the characters, especially these days when they're so close to their characters in real life half the time. I think that is mishmashing. Does that make sense, Mike? Do you see where I'm coming from here?
No, I mean, I'm
not saying you're wrong. I understand.
I would like to see the stuff on Total Divas play out on TV, because I think some of it is fake or not, real or not. It's kind of compelling.
Okay.
Like, I would have loved to see the tension in the Funkadactyls as acted out on Raw and on Main Event. Yeah.
Well, I keep going back to this. Must have been on Superstars or something. Remember a couple episodes back where the one Funkadactyl was having the one that's going out with the Uso. Thank you. He's my, just like indie wrestling. He's the one that keeps me track on the Total Divas.
Or if you want to get kayfabe,
I don't know. Everybody has two names on the show, and it freaks me out.
Except for Fandango.
Except for Fandango.
And John Cena.
He's Mr. Fandango and Mr. John Cena, and we actually call him Brian Dagos.
And John Cena as John Cena.
Exactly. He's a bad man.
Oh my God! I want that to be at the end of the intro.
I don't even know where I was going with this thing. Yeah. Okay, so there was a random match where she was fighting with her boyfriend from the Usos, who also has a different name, which weirds me out. Joey? I don't know. But there was one where it was a mixed tag, and she hurricaned him and everything, and I'm like, well, how weird did that look when it played out on TV? You know?
Exactly.
Not that I remember it.
Because the Usos were faces, even though they're on a heel team.
Yeah, exactly. It was just odd. And so I guess that kind of goes to your point, Mike, where you're like, well, I'm having these matches that don't make sense until 3 months later when I see it on a reality show.
See, I mean, I enjoy both shows. I enjoy both parts of the product, but
yeah,
I think there needs to be a closer intertwined.
From the chat room, Twitch was here, says the Ultimate Bellas and mainline Bellas are equally terrible. There you go.
No, Ultimate Brie Bella is slightly less terrible than mainline Brie Bella.
Say it to my face while I'm in my Range Rover.
Hey guys, I was following a Range Rover the other day, and I took a picture and sent it to Bobby. I figured he'd appreciate that one. All right, let's move to something else. Let's get away from the ladies.
Again, I wanted Daniel Bryan to drive out Nikki's Range Rover.
Wouldn't it be great if it was a Range Rover? Oh, man.
Right? See, you have to intertwine. Or, Daniel Bryan come out with the produce truck and spray everyone with Brie's protein shake that she was drinking on the previous episode of Total Divas.
Yeah, isn't that interesting, though? Because there's all this, subtext to everything. Because you're watching Total Divas now, and you see what happens. There's this subtext that could be happening that they never brought to the show. And I remember you being one of the guys, I think Eamon too, that said, I want them to do... I see this coming into the picture, the John Cena, Daniel Bryan thing.
It was a better story than...
It was a better story, except than I just picked you, But here's Daniel Bryan 2 weeks in a row saying, thank you, John, for the opportunity. And you see them buddy-palling around on the show.
Wait. So the fact that the whole intertwining of them dating the Bellas would have been a better story than how they played it up in the
That's what Mike thinks.
That's exactly what I think.
Okay.
Hey!
I can see that, because, if like Mike was saying, if Bree asked Nikki, talk to John, give the match to Bryan, and Bryan finds out, he's going to be pissed off. Like, I'm not good enough on my own to get this match.
Especially after that whole...
That's going to fuel his rage, and heads are going to get kicked into the fourth row.
It would have been perfect. And then, especially with Bryan winning like he did, you could have John Cena come back as kind of a heel.
Yeah.
Like the only reason I picked you was because my girlfriend asked me to.
When we came back and says...
You got a lucky shot in because I was already injured.
He comes back and says, I got the better Bella. There you go, right there.
Yes.
You guys apparently need to be booking WWE. So.
Well, we can say this the whole time. All right, let's go back to it. Now, because I know... I'm going to beat you to the punch, Eamon.
Okay.
Because I know you're tired of the asshole faces.
Yeah.
And I know last night, Daniel Bryan was a bit of an asshole and a little bit of a graffiti artist. And I just want to give you your moment to rage on.
It's not rage.
Really? When? Since when?
I'm just more disappointed.
You're disappointed? You saying Daniel Bryan, you should have known better? Are you going to slap him on the hand?
I just feel like they could have done something more interesting than just have him do the exact same thing Kofi Kingston did. He's
better than that.
He's better than that, and he could do so much different than that and make it interesting.
No, you can't. Not with Triple H being the mega bad guy.
That's true.
Triple H
makes everything better. That's true.
Yeah. No, but I mean, in all that sense, I feel like they could have done something different. I wish they would.
It's always fun for them to destroy a vehicle, especially since we're going to the corporation. We're going in the 1998 playbook here. So, what's wrong with that?
They didn't destroy a vehicle, though.
They pretty much did.
No. They forced Randy Orton to get a new paint job.
That's true.
Yeah,
Triple H will probably pay for.
He painted on it. Okay, cool.
Best line of the night, though, comes from Triple H. This is my belt. Randy Orton's holding it for me.
Yeah, that pretty much sums up Triple H perfectly.
This is my property.
Triple H is doing a pretty good job of being the antithesis of what a lot of people think him as. Mm-hmm. And I am enjoying those aspects of it. I think he does a good job of portraying it.
Yeah. I really think he's new Vince. He's new Vince, and he's actually threatening.
We won't know yet.
We don't know yet. But I see the groundwork to him being new Vince. Vince can't do it. Vince can't go out and strut like that every once in a while. I mean, he's going to throw a hip.
I just don't think Triple H is willing to look vulnerable like Vince used to do.
Exactly.
I think his ego is too big to.
He will.
Come to that.
It'll come around.
Oh my God, I don't think so, Sorg.
I think it will. I think it will. He has to. He has to.
No, he doesn't.
For it to work, he has to.
All he has to do is bide time until John Cena comes back.
True.
John Cena comes back, he will be the one to beat Randy Orton, and Daniel Bryan wins the Royal Rumble. Mm-hmm. That way, Triple H doesn't have to look weak against Daniel Bryan, but he'll look moderately weak against John Cena, because let's face it, John Cena's already beaten Triple H in an actual match.
Well, also, here's a way to stop that. Don't compete, Triple H.
No, I don't think he's going too much.
No, I'm not even saying he's going to. I'm just saying, as the lead heel, he still doesn't have it in him to look weak.
Yeah.
That's my whole point why he's not Vince. Vince would have done anything to make himself look like a complete idiot if it helped the company. He pissed his pants in the middle of the ring.
He did. Well, I don't think we're at that point yet where Triple H is, you can't look weak yet, right? Am I right? We need to build this idea. We need to build this idea over weeks. I know Daniel Bryan's getting punked out here at the end of the shows, but we need to build this idea over weeks that Triple H is a dick. Triple H is in charge. Triple H has henchmen that are going to do his bidding, to make everybody scared of him, which Vince has. I mean, Vince didn't need to do as much of the groundwork because Vince is the real boss and has been for years when they did what they did back in the day. I mean, well, even at that point, Vince was stripping Stone Cold of the title, which was more legit, but still something they could work into it. We're trying to do what we did for Vince Stone Cold with Triple H Bryan, but more artificially and more by the numbers. Give it okay. Give me 3 months. If there's not an uber humiliating moment for Triple H, I'll eat my words. I'll do something. I don't know.
I respectfully disagree because I think if the last 10 years of professional wrestling have proven anything, the one thing we do not need to do is put over Triple H as a bad guy.
I don't want.
There has been enough of that.
I don't want it either, but I mean, if it's what they're going to do and if it's what they're going to run with it, at least have him be good at it.
Well, I'm just glad. I'm just glad that Triple H has enough humility that he gave up his entrance music for the Escalade.
I wanted the Escalade as soon as it came out to Triple H's music to have the wipers going like he's spitting water.
Yeah, exactly. All right.
I wanted that to happen so badly.
All right, guys.
TNA.
Really? We're doing this?
Really?
Yes.
All right. I'm going to walk away.
Why? We deal with that on Thursdays enough.
Something kind of big happened?
What? No, it didn't.
AJ Styles?
No, it didn't.
Come on.
What happened? Explain the situation for the rest of us that don't watch TNA.
Someone went to rehab, so they took the character that they've been trying to develop and basically said, fuck this. That's what happened.
Pretty much, especially when they had a second best option right there in the form of the former world champion Chris Sabin. Okay, that's it.
If I can relate, you talked about the Madden thing at IWC. One thing he said that they need to do, both WWE and TNA, is have I call it a script supervisor from working, things that have a script thing, productions, movies, whatever. They have somebody that watches continuity on the script. Make sure, look shot to shot and say that thing wasn't there or this doesn't make sense. He should be standing over there. He's pissed because of this. And I forget what he called it in this instance. But somebody that basically audits the script, right? So basically for stuff like, hey, WWE, hey, this doesn't make sense. Hey, this doesn't seem right. Or in the case of TNA, throw the script away.
No. Basically, in this case, it's a matter of seeing, okay, we want to do something. How does that affect other people? How does that affect other characters?
Mm-hmm.
That's what you have to do.
Quality control. Thanks. I think my intern Mike was there this weekend. I think he was in for that part. You see, he called it quality control, and that's really what it is. Unfortunately, the thing is and this is the problem we can run into all the time. In WWE, Vince is the final word, right? Or in this case, it's between Vince, Steph, and Triple H, let's say, right? But still,
even if you don't agree with those people, it's a smart method.
Yeah, apparently it is. I mean, really, if you look at it in the tech industry, Steve Jobs was the final word on everything, right? Look how that went. I mean, you can see probably a lot of similarities between Apple in its glory years and WWE in its glory years there.
Well, if you hear anyone talk about the Monday Night Wars, anyone who was in WCW, they said if they had a problem with something, they did not know who to go to.
And how much
they would hear conflicting reports.
What do you think?
Jericho said, as soon as he got to WWE, if he had an issue, he went to Vince.
And how do you think it is in TNA? Who do you got to?
I'm sure they don't go to Dixie.
Exactly, right? So you got too many people wearing hats and this and the other. I think politics get a lot worse there in those situations because you don't know exactly what's going on. And the stories I hear of the stuff that happened, I'm sure the ridiculous stuff happened in WWE and WWF, but I mean the ridiculous things where the inmates are running the asylum here, it's just with no control.
Sorg, Impact's not in the asylum anymore.
Oh, thank you. Guys, please tell me what you learned from wrestling this week. Please. Jessica?
Oh, goodness. I learned that it's cool to spray paint someone else's car. If they were mean to you, you will still have fans.
Life lesson. Life lesson. Eamon?
I learned that I'm shocked that Total Divas was the first. They went with the Bella twins for the first person to on the show to have daddy issues because man, Jim Neidhart. That dude. I posted a video today on the Facebook page of someone interviewing Brett and Jim at a Marlins game.
Yeah.
Holy fuck, Jim Neidhart is like strung out on something.
Yeah. That's most likely pills. I heard some recent.
He's like twitching and he's like, oh my god.
Every no story I've heard of Jim has been a good one. Yeah. What about you, Mike?
I learned two things. I learned that Kanye West is a fan of The Undertaker's entrance from WrestleMania 29, based on his VMA performance. And I also learned that no one can lace AJ's Chuck Taylors.
That was the best line from that.
And she actually threw in a real mic drop, which was great.
Yeah.
What'd you learn, Sorg?
What did I learn? I learned measure twice. Measure twice, insert steel cage once.
Very nice.
Wow.
So there you go. Guys, a Wrestling Mayhem Show from the chat. Twitch was here, learned that Kobold is wonderful. I don't understand that one.
You don't follow Chikara. I'm sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry. I tried.
I didn't think there was anything left to follow. Oh,
This is why I talk about the.
There's still
whatever.
wrestling is fun and all that stuff. Maybe Cold's going to be the new 24/7 hardcore champion.
Yes, if you're not following Chuck Taylor on Instagram.
Oh,
shit.
need to add him then.
Could
Wheels
you imagine
learned.
if the 24/7 hardcore belt existed with Vine?
Wheels learned that he notices. Oh, wow, that's awesome. Didn't we talk about that like a while ago? Like with the Twist app? Like they should do the hardcore belt 24/7 with the Twist app or something? Or not Twist? Twist? Tau.
Yeah, they should.
Twist
Anyway.
is something else.
That's what basically wrestling is. The wrestling is guys are doing.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. Wheels learned that he noticed there was a PA license plate on the Escalade. Bobby
Worst
learned
fun ever.
that AJ is my spirit animal, not our AJ, but our AJ. Lady AJ.
Yes.
Lay J.
Lady J, exactly. Guys, Wrestling Mayhem Show. Thanks. Hey, Jessica, thanks for joining us here on the latter half of the round table. All right, let's give it up for her.
Yay, I wasn't terrible, maybe.
What?
Probably was.
No, you were better than Eamon. Not better than me, but better than Eamon.
Thanks, Mike.
You'll get your DJ Lunchbox Was She Funny review later.
Ooh, yes.
Yeah, look out for that one.
Graphic Gimmick learned that nobody else should wear Fandango's gear.
No,
Yes,
no way.
that sounds about right. Hey, yeah, again, WrestlingMayhemShow.com, iTunes, Stitcher, YouTube. Tell a friend if you enjoy this kind of thing that we do here on Tuesday nights. Drop us a line to Good Times.
Good times.
Good Times at WrestlingMayhemShow.com. 412-206-WM0. Check out the app. Check out the t-shirts. Check out our sponsors. Check out all that stuff. Share it with a friend. Enjoy the stuff. Check out our wrap-ups throughout the week. We didn't get one in last night because I was sick and Eamon discovered...
Google Hangout was down.
Well, that was that, too. But, yeah,
difficulties.
apparently there was YouTube maintenance at 6 p.m. Pacific time, which would be exactly...
Probably 10.
Would have started 9 o'clock my time, but still, that's 2 hours, so they must have been doing it for a while. And that also affected the hangout. So no wrap-up for Raw this week. Watch out for the ones for Impact that Eamon's been doing. Great stuff over there. And any pay-per-views or anything. And anything else we decide to do wrap-ups for, we'll tweet them out and stuff. And you'll see them up on the YouTube channel. Go subscribe to that thing. We're trying to get 100 subscribers on there so we can start doing some more live stuff. Maybe even put this up live on YouTube. As well. We're going to see what those options are. So, guys, thank you. Our great chat room at live.sorgatronmedia.com. And we'll see you guys next week. Mayhem out.
Just wait.